Alright, so I think we're live streaming. So what's everyone up to today? Alright, I've got the new update and most people don't, so I can't swap with most people. I knew they do the staggered update thing, which means it rolls out to a small group of people. Alright, for a few days they can kind of test and see what's going on, make sure everything's working and all of that stuff. Then a few days later, it rolls out to some more people. Then a few days later, it rolls out to some more people. So that's how Staggered update works. That's why some people have the update right now and some people do not. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody if you guys are on to listen to it. Hey, what's up guys? How you guys doing? We're going to go do some live racing, I guess, with my Copo Camaro today. I can't really get into too many lobbies with people. It seems like the Supermax lobby is about the only lobby I go into where I have real people instead of bots. Because, like I was just saying, I got the update and most people don't. Hopefully my voice sounds good today. I've actually lowered the settings on my streaming setup to what I kind of looked online about the recommended streaming settings when you're doing it on this app. So I lowered the settings. Hopefully everything looks good. I don't know. Maybe that'll fix the voice skipping problem I was having. The weird thing is sometimes it would mess up, sometimes it wouldn't. It was kind of hit and miss. So I don't know what the deal is. I probably have an 8.5 car, but currently, unless you have the newest update, I can't swap with anybody. Because I got the new update, and most people don't so far, I guess. Hey, what's up, Julio, Mr. K, John? What's going on, guys? Danny Alfred. Dang, you still get the chattering voice? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what causes that. I've pretty much got this thing streaming on the lowest settings possible. I wish I don't know. So strange. Unless I have... Anybody know what my bitrate setting should be for streaming? Elite license, cool. Is that the first one? You don't have the voice chatter? Well, that's good. Maybe some people are getting it and some don't. I don't know. Very, very strange. But I'm just going to take the Copo Camaro into the Supermax lobby, because that seems to be the only lobby where I'm actually finding real players that have the new update. Hey, what's up, Joe? How's it going? What's up, Trippy J? Yeah, I was just saying they use staggered updates, okay? A small group of people gets the new update, and they kind of test it out. If everything comes back fine, a couple days later, more people get it. Then a couple days later, more people get it. So they can kind of test it before everybody gets it. Plus, they don't have a billion people trying to download the game at once on their servers, which kind of like can crash the servers. I remember when the Call of Duty game came out for Call of Duty Mobile, the game didn't really work for about 2 days because there were so many people downloading it, all the servers couldn't handle everything. Hey, what's up, Miguel? The only tips for the Elite license is, well, you just got to get a car that's fast enough, which can take a while. You just have to get enough parts on the car is all. That's pretty much the deal. You make sure you're using the right shift pattern for your car. And this person didn't challenge me back, huh? Make sure you're using the right shift pattern for your car. Make sure you've got enough parts on it. And that's pretty much the deal, I guess. Make sure your tune is good. If you don't know how to tune the car, check out my tuning playlist, and that should teach you. Alright, here's somebody that wants to race me. They don't have the swap symbol, but we're gonna go for it anyways. Hey, what's up, Michael? How's it going? My Copo Camaro is not driving right. I think I got lag, which is causing me to get a bad start. Hey, I still won. That's awesome. You're trying to use the Tier 3 LB Audi for your Elite license? I can't remember if that car is fast enough or not. I'm really not sure, actually. You can probably do a search on YouTube for LB Audi Max Tune or whatever and find somebody showing how fast that car goes maxed out, but at the moment I don't have any of that information in front of me, so I can't check up on it for you. Lag is a killer? What do you mean, Ken? I'm lagging? I know I got some low settings on my thing, so it kind of looks like the graphics look terrible. Sorry about that. I don't think I can really change it now, so this stream's going to have some crappy graphics, I guess. I should have restarted my phone. I can actually hear the game lagging a little bit too. There's 3 different Elite licenses, okay? There's 3 different Elite licenses, and I have a video on my page talking about, you know, it shows you all the boss times and Elite license times and stuff like that. Check that out. I don't currently know what they are offhand. Are you talking about the Copo Camaro? Supposedly there's going to be, I think that's going to be in crates with gold keys. I don't think there's going to be a drop. Well, yeah, there'll probably be either I think that's going to have the 20x drop rate for gold keys. It'll either have a 7 or a 10 loyalty reward pool. So I think we've frozen up here. I got a problem. But yeah, you're going to have to use at least 10 pulls, maybe 7 pulls. I believe the Copo Camaro and that Cobra Jet are going to be both available at the same time because there's supposedly a duality cup using both of those cars. I bet it's going to tell me the race is void or something. It loves to do that. Yeah, the Shelby Cobra, yeah, that's a good car to use for the Elite license because it's not one of the faster cars in the game, and you know, if you use that car for live racing, it'll score a few extra points once it's made Elite. So that's a pretty good choice, I think. And of course it says race abandoned because the other player canceled out, so for some reason it makes me abandon the race as well, which is crap. Because I stayed there the whole time while that thing was all frozen up. Amelia's Challenge, that's on Tempest 1, right? I think I used the, if that's Tempest 1, I actually, hey, there's hardly anybody in here. That's what sucks about having a brand new update. The rooms are pretty freaking empty. But yeah, Tempest 1, I actually used the NSX that not the NSX, the freaking GTR that I bought from the dealership. Yeah, unfortunately, gold keys are not easy to get. You either gotta save them for months and months and months, or you gotta buy the things, basically. I think they only give out about 10 gold keys per month or something. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm having a lot of live racing issues since I got the new update. They seem worse than normal. The game's freezing. All kinds of weirdness going on. So let's go try and find another lobby. That one either died out or whatnot. Hopefully I can get into a different lobby with more people this time. Which Mustang are you using? Hey, there's my crew member. Yeah, which Mustang are you using? There's quite a few Mustangs in the game. If you're using the boss version of the Mustang, it's really not that great. A video about the keys. Okay, I got some videos about keys as well, so I'm not sure what you're talking about as far as a video about keys. Didn't I just lose? How did he just re-challenge me when I lost? That's not normal. If you want me to watch your video, post a link to your video on a comment on one of my videos. I'll check it out, I guess. I'm not sure I can find that from the live chat that plays back, so just post it on one of my other videos. That's the one I made yesterday or something. I can't remember whose turn it is. That's the one problem I have, is when I'm live racing and swapping, I forget whose turn it is to win. So I'm just going to go ahead and intentionally lose this one. Okay. Everyone keeps asking about the update. I keep trying to tell everybody. Alright, they set up staggered updates. So the game rolls out to some people. They test it out for a couple days. It rolls out to a few more people. Then it rolls out to a few more people. And first off, they can test it when a small amount of people have it. Plus, they don't have 10 million people downloading it all at the same time and crashing their servers. So it's a staggered update. Different people are getting the update at different times. So there's no actual telling when you're going to get it. It could be today, it could be tomorrow. It just depends on the staggered updates on Google. It randomly selects people to get it. So there's no real reason of who gets it first and who gets it last. They just randomly select certain users to get it at different times. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Tempest races are actually pretty hard. All right. Tempest races are very hard. I'm going to buy some more gold here. Especially when you have to start switching the cars around and stuff. Alright. For Tempest, I used the Volkswagen GTI for Tier 1. For Tier 2, I used the Porsche Boxster. For Tier 3, I used... What did I use for Tier 3? First, I used the Mustang GT Premium. And after I won Amelia's LBM4, I finished off Tempest with that. For Tier 4, I started off with the Nissan GTR. And then I moved on to the HPE 750 Mustang. For Tier 5, I used the Ferrari F12 with 3 stars for Tempest 1 and Tempest 2. And I beat Tempest 3 finally with the Hurricane with 3 stars. Once you get to Tempest 3, your cars almost have to be completely maxed out. It's pretty crazy. What do you mean, is there a difference when you live in another country? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Because, I mean, basically, I think the only difference is you have a different time zone than everybody else. I mean, I don't think anything changes according to what country you're in. Like, we got guys in my crew that are from all kinds of different places. We got people from the United States. We got guys from India. We got some guys in Japan. We got people from all over the place. And nothing really changes except for they're on a different time zone than, you know, the majority of us are. What happened? My launch button didn't work. I think it's my... You can buy and strip more F12 Berlinettas to get fusion parts, and sometimes it'll drop stage 6 parts. Alright, any of the cars that you can buy in the dealership are really good to use because you can keep buying and stripping them to get stage 6 and fusions. But I will say this, when I maxed out my Hurricane and I maxed out my F12, I'd have to say I stripped over 30 of each one before I got it pretty much maxed out. It's very expensive, but most of the cars in this game, you are not going to be able to max out easily. So using the cars in the dealership are often your best choice. But it's very expensive. Once you beat the Tempest races, though, you know, I used to be hard up on cash. I was always broke all the time until I finally finished Tempest 2. And then I didn't have cars fast enough for Tempest 3, so I took a break for like 7 or 8 months. Because I just didn't have the cars fast enough. And I would slowly, like, maybe twice a season or 3 times a season, I would strip one of those Hurricanes or F12s to get some parts. Finally, I mean, it probably took me about a year. It probably took me about a year before I finished Tempest 3 because I just really casually bought and stripped cars for parts until I had cars fast enough to beat Tempest 3. Yeah, Conduit, that is a tier 1 car you have to use. I used the regular GTI that I bought from the dealership. I think I barely beat him. The 1-star GTI is probably the best car you can use. There's the Ford, the tier 1 Ford may or may not be fast enough, I'm not sure, but the GTI is the way to go. Yeah, I've never had a problem with the launch button not working until today. I don't think that tier 1 Mustang Boss 302 is going to be fast enough to beat Conduit. Maybe because it only runs like a 12.4. I think you have to run a 11.9 something to beat Conduit, don't you? If my memory serves me correctly. I have a video that tells all the boss times. If you don't know what time you have to beat, check that out. Yeah, the tier 1 Honda Civic will beat pretty much everything, but it's really hard to get parts for that car. Honda parts are very rare in this game. But yeah, the tier 1 Civic will beat Tempest, but of course you gotta win it from Tempest, and then you gotta get the parts for it. Zero to 60 races are rough. Usually if you move your final drive all the way to the right, that will often really help you out on those 0 to 60 races. You got to retune your car for 0 to 60 times. Same thing for speed traps. You got to retune your car sometimes for those as well. I got videos on my tuning playlist as far as beating the speed traps and the sprint races. Both are a pain in the butt. I actually hate having to retune my cars for races. Probably because you haven't got the update yet, video toy guy. Alright, I'll explain it again for like the 1000th time. Alright, they schedule staggered updates. So Google Play, or I guess your iOS, would roll up the update to a few select people. And then a few days later, it rolls out to some more people. And a couple days later, it rolls out to some more people. And that helps them test that everything's working properly, and it keeps from blowing up their servers when there's like 10,000 people trying to download the update. So, crapola, crap sandwiches. But yep, staggered updates. They've been doing this for all the updates, so everybody doesn't get them at the same time. And it actually kind of sucks when you're one of the first people to get the update. Look how long I'm stuck on this black screen. This sucks. It's like, feels like it takes about a minute or two to get back into the game. Every time I open the game, black screen. And when I'm making the videos on my PC, it constantly says, every time I try it, I gotta open and close the game about 20 times before it lets me in, because the game constantly crashes when I'm on my PC emulator. So eventually, we're going to get into the main loading screen here. There it goes. This is why new updates suck sometimes. Well, I better plug my phone in because my battery is about to die here. So let me plug in the power cable. Hey Alton, if you're talking about questions and suggestions, I mean, like, I don't give out my personal information at all, because even when I gave out my line ID, I would have like 20 people adding me, and I can't keep up with all the people on the line app. Between my games, I've already got like 200 friends on there between my different games I play. I just can't keep up with everything. All that plus the YouTube comments gets pretty crazy, so you know, I try and if I see people's comments, I always try and get back to them and give them answers or whatnot, but I just can't. It gets hard to keep up with it. I got 3 YouTube channels, you know, plus like the different games and all the people on the line app. It gets crazy trying to keep up with all of it. Like yesterday, I felt like all I did was just answer questions on YouTube and on the line app for my teammates and stuff. Some days it's kind of nice where I get like a normal amount of comments, and some days I'm just like flooded with them. There's like hundreds of them. It's just like, oh my god. But I try and get back to everybody as much as possible. The only thing that sucks is when I get that many comments. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't notify me of every single one, and I'm pretty sure I end up missing some comments. I try and get on my YouTube Studio and get on there, and I'm not sure. I always try really hard, but sometimes I'm sure there's probably comments I don't see because the game fails to mention them. Every once in a while, I get a new comment on an old video, and when I open it, I see like 2 or 3 comments somebody left months ago, and I'm like, crap, I didn't see those. So even then, I'll try and answer the month-old ones. More than likely, the people can't. More than likely, the people already found their answer by that time, but I hate when that happens. Alright, let's try and get a new lobby. Nobody's in this one. This is another problem, why it sucks when you're one of the few people that have the new update. Staggered updates kind of sucks. I wish they would roll it out to more people, because I wish they would roll it out to more people for the first several days, because it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, I've got the Legends update. Alright, it's going to be rolling out to small amounts of people, like I think every day or every couple days it rolls out to a few more people, then a few more people, because they schedule staggered updates for these things. It helps them test the updates and make sure everything's working properly, and it keeps so there's not a million people blowing up their servers all at the same time. The Ferrari F12 with 3 stars is able to get below 9 seconds. It's very, very hard to get under 9 seconds. I've only been able to do it a couple times, but usually I hit like 9.0 something on the F12. But I wouldn't use the F12 to try and beat Harkness, because it's so hard to get under 9.0 with it, even after it's completely maxed out. I don't know who won the last race, so I'm going to just go ahead and let this guy win. But the F12 was great for Tempest 1 and Tempest 2, but it's cutting it way too close to try and challenge Harkness. Now the 3-star Hurricane beat Harkness no problem. That's what I used. I actually found some sort of guide for it where it told me exactly which parts to install. Because, you know, you got to have like your performance points have to be between a certain range on the Tempest races, which I hate, because you constantly got to retune all the cars. But somewhere there's a guide for the Hurricane on how to tune it for each thing. But you do have to have that Hurricane almost completely maxed out in order to finish Tempest 3. Tempest 1, not too bad. Tempest 2, not too bad. Tempest 3 is rough, though. For some reason, Tier 4 is always the hardest out of all the Tempest races. Yeah, you guys will get the update. You just gotta be patient. They schedule staggered updates where different people get it on different days, so it should be rolling out to more people soon. Yeah, it took me a long time to get cars fast enough to get the Tempest 3 license. Like I was telling someone a minute ago, it was almost about a year after I started playing that I actually finished Tempest 3, because I didn't have cars fast enough to get the license and beat the bosses. But yeah, I don't really understand why they make us do the elite license. I kind of made a poor choice on which cars to make elite, but at the time, I mean, when you're free to play, you don't have that many choices, so you kind of got to use what you use. You know, pay to play players that have all these really fast cars all the time, you can always pick one of your live racing cars to make elite, so you can get the bonus on live racing. Now when Tempest 4 finally comes out, they keep talking about it, but oh yeah, it's gonna be out soon, and then it never shows up. If that ever comes out, I'm gonna elite one of my better live racing cars so I can get an additional bonus on it. That'll be awesome. Heck, I can elite my best live racing car in each tier actually. That'll be great. That way, no matter what tier I'm running, I'll have a live racing car to get some extra RP. Now, I did make that really nice tier 2 car, that Boss Lotus. I made that elite, so I do have a really good tier 2 car for live racing now, but I don't ever really live race in tier 2. The Tempest 3 Lamborghini used to be one of the best cars in the game. It's an awesome live racing car. Alright, I think it runs like a... Don't quote me on this. It's probably like an 7.3 or 7.4, maybe 7.5. It used to be like the third or fourth fastest car in the game, but now there's so many cars that are running like 6.9s and 7.1s and 7.2s, but the Sesto Elemento Boss Lamborghini beats Dyno Time by a huge amount, so it's really, really, really easy to win live races with. I actually love mine. It's an awesome car. It's just not one of the fastest anymore. So yeah, it's actually a really, really good car. I kind of heard something about springtime. We might see Tempest 4. I'm really not sure though. I don't care about maxing most cars out. Alright? It really doesn't matter if you're live racing with them. I just like to have cars that are faster than 9 seconds. Most people, you know, it depends on if you're trying to win every race. I mean, that Harkness Sesto Elemento, even at tier 5, you can go in and beat almost everybody. Even if all you have is tier 5s, it still crushes dyno times and beats people in live racing. It's an awesome car. I don't think it's faster than the McLaren, no. I think the McLaren F1 runs a 7.1 something, if I remember correctly. I don't have my list in front of me to actually look at it, but I'm pretty sure it's like a 7.1 if you can max the F1 out. I think when I first got my Sesto Elemento, it was probably the 4th fastest car in the game, but now it's on like number 20 or 30 on the list of fastest cars. It's amazing how that works. Like this Copo Camaro I'm racing right now, there was only like 6 or 7 cars in the game that could beat this when I first got the car. Now it's like way down the list. There's a crap load of cars that can beat this, so they continually just make the cars faster and faster and faster. I'm actually wondering, when are they going to make one that busts 6.9 pretty soon? Because there's a lot of 6.9 cars coming out. Yep, everybody does have that Cento. It's a great car. I got my Cento maxed out. Crap, I forgot to buy gas before I did that. But yeah, I got my Cento maxed out. I use it for live racing. I just swap with people because pretty much everybody in the really, really fast lobby, the Super Max lobby or the Hyper lobby, whatever you want to call it, everybody in there just swaps. There's such a large amount of like different timed cars in there, it's crazy. The Hurricane with 3 stars, yeah, it gets below 9 seconds. I can't remember what it runs like an 8 point... I don't know, it's somewhere between like an 8.4 and an 8.7 maxed out. I can't actually remember. But it definitely beats below 9 seconds by a pretty nice amount. It's easy to beat Harkness, alright? It's really easy to beat Tempest 3 Tier 5 if you can max out your Hurricane. At least the 3-star version. Hey, what's up, Joyrider? How's it going? Alright. So I got about 20 minutes left on this wild card. I'll buy another thing of gas. Hopefully my teammate's still in here. Hey, what's up, Mazza? How you doing? I believe, are you talking about this car that's on my screen right now? I think that's the new fastest car in the game, if I remember correctly. I'm going to refuse that because I want to race my teammate. That way every win and every loss goes to my crew. And we're earning crew RP right now. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the new Hennessy can beat the Tuatara. I don't know if I pronounced that thing right. Everybody, every time I try and look up the pronunciation for some of these cars, everybody says it differently. So I never know exactly what's right on a lot of them. Hey, that's awesome, Mazza. I'm glad that worked. Yeah, some seasons these tricks really seem to work for a lot of people. Some seasons they only work for some people, but when the tricks work, that's great. Awesome, Joyrider. I'm glad you got it too. Yeah, we got Chirons and Cento Diachis everywhere in the Supermax lobby. It's almost all Bugattis and F1s in there. It's kind of funny, like I hardly see the Supras in there anymore. I'm not really seeing the Tuateras, or most of the cars that were in the Supermax lobby have been replaced by Bugattis. So it's all Bugattis and F1s. Stinger, do we think the Stinger is next? Next for what? It's going to be for something. One of the guys in my crew pulled it out of either a silver or gold crate the other day. I'm not exactly sure. Come on. Crap sandwiches, crap sandwiches. I'm not sure what the Stinger is going to be used for. I got a thing that probably says, but I don't have it. I got it saved on my PC. Right now I'm on my phone doing the live stream, but I can't remember if the Stinger is going to be a Prestige Cup car or something else. I'd have to look that up. But I'm not sure what season that's going to be. I know it's coming up for something here pretty soon. Yes, I believe the brand new Civic is going to be next season's Prestige Cup car. Now I'm stuck on this stupid black screen forever. But yeah, I think the Stinger... I can't remember if the Stinger was supposed to be in... I can't remember if it's going to be a Milestone prize car. I don't think it is. I think it's going to be a Prestige Cup car. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. I have a bad memory, so... What software do I use for CSR2 racing? On the PC, I play on something called Mimu Play. I believe that's only an Android emulator. So if you're on Android, you can download Mimu Play from mimuplay.com. Make sure you get it from there and not some weird third-party website. Because sometimes if you download from third-party websites, you get viruses and who knows what they can add into it. So always make sure you're downloading stuff from the official website so junk like that doesn't happen to you. But Mimu Play is awesome. There's a couple other ones. There's the Nox Player. There's BlueStacks. But I have the least issues on Mimu. I have less lag, I have less crashing. Mimu seems to be the best emulator out there. A lot of people are saying there's something called LD Player, but I was looking it up, and a lot of people's virus software is picking up some sort of virus on the LD Player, so I don't quite trust the LD Player, but I guess it's the most stable emulator. So it might be a mistake that it's picking up the virus, or there might actually be a virus in it. So I would stay away from the LD Player for now. No one's quite sure. But Mimu Play, awesome. Oh, I thought my game crashed again. There it goes. You know, I think the brand new Civic looks just like the current Civic Type R, except for it's got some stickers on it and like a couple teeny, like the wings a little different, but to me they almost look like the same car. I'm not too excited about it actually. At first I was like, oh cool, another Civic Type R, but it doesn't really look that much different. I was kind of hoping it would be like really tricked out or something. Does anybody even use that term anymore, tricked out? I think it's what is it, tier 3 of the new Civic, I think. I mean, it definitely looks pretty cool. I just wish it looked a little more different than the other ones. I think you already found me, Miguel. Of course, I got a big delay from the time you guys see my screen till I see stuff, so. But yeah, that's cool. A lot of people are definitely looking forward to that Civic. When it comes out in the crate, I'll try and figure out a trick for that one too. I got a couple friends that are really good at figuring out the tricks, and if they don't do it and I need the car, then I try to figure it out. So hopefully we'll come up with a good trick to find the Civic. The tricks may or may not actually work. Alright, to me it seems like a lot of the times they do, so I look at it this way. Even if the tricks don't work, I have two options. I'm going to try the trick, and if it happens to work, that's amazing. You know, I save some keys. If the trick doesn't work, well, it's either that or just pull randomly and hope for the best. So I'm going to continue to try the tricks, because if the tricks do work, man, that's a lot less keys spent. Because I know a lot of people are just like, no, the tricks don't work, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people don't believe it at all. I think they might. You know, if they do work, though, you got to get the timing just right. If you don't quite time your pull right, then you don't get it. So a lot of people don't get the timing right, so they think the tricks don't work or something. I know there's a lot of seasons when someone says, you got to pull it at like exactly 3 seconds after this shows up. Well, how do you really time an exact 3 seconds? You know what I mean? If you don't get the timing right, it's not going to work. If you do get the timing right, that's awesome. Just like this season, I think the first 2 pulls I did with the trick, I didn't get it. The second pull, I changed my timing slightly and I got it. So, I believe the tricks work if you can get your timing correct. I always kind of put that disclaimer there in the videos just in case, because when I first started making the trick videos, if people didn't get it, they would get really pissed off and start cursing me out and stuff. So I always start saying, you know, these tricks aren't guaranteed to work for everybody. You know, try at your own risk. But I mean, I don't know why they get pissed off, because it was either try the trick or, you know, pull randomly and hope for the best. I mean, if you don't get the timing right, that ain't my fault. They work for a lot of people, it seems like. I do think the tricks used to work a lot better than they did before. I remember almost every season within the first 3 pulls I would get the car, but there was a couple seasons where I think the drop rate was actually broken, and almost everybody spent all 15 pulls to get the cars. They said they were going to compensate us with keys. I remember there was something about that because they kind of, I guess, they admitted to somebody. I think it was Millie. They told him that they might compensate people with keys because the drop rate wasn't working, but I never saw the keys, so I guess they never ended up doing it. I can't remember who had the video about that, but somebody did. Can you actually get 750 keys a season, Sam, without actually spending any money? I usually get about 500 to 600 per season from the game, so that always leaves me a little bit short. If I actually got 750 a season, I wouldn't try and hoard my keys so much, but I don't know. I mean, I try and win about 15 to 30 live races per day to get 10 to 20 keys per day, plus I get all the stuff that it gives out from the daily races and stuff. But I don't think I've ever got over 600 keys in a season. That would be amazing to get all 750 each season. The only good way to get stage 6 parts for a Legends car is to restore another Legends car and strip it, which really sucks because it's a heck of a grind to keep restoring Legends cars. But yeah, I'm stuck on Legends Never Die. Now, here's something cool. Here's something really cool, okay? There's supposed to be a new event coming out on the next update that's supposed to help us get parts for our Legends cars. So there's going to be a new Legends racing event. I hope they actually go through with this because I would love to be able to get the parts, the stage 6 parts I need to finish Legends Never Die. I think I got like 5 or 10 more races left on that, and I'm stuck because I can't get the parts I need, and I'm too lazy to keep restoring cars and stripping them. That's just too much extra racing. I want to use my gas to earn respect points. Alright, that's my main thing. I want to earn respect points and run my crew. I don't want to have to restore Legends cars just to strip them. And I don't really want to use the restore glitch. There is some sort of glitch where you can restore your Legends cars right away, but the game is known for banning people that use glitches if they catch you. And it's really not worth risking that to me. Hey, what's up, Josh? New update is out, but there's something called staggered updates, alright? So, staggered updates means the first group of people get an update. They can test the game out, make sure everything's working, yada yada yada. A couple days later, the update, I can't talk all of a sudden. Now the update rolls out to a second group of people. A couple days later, the update rolls out to a third group of people. And Google actually randomly selects who gets it when. Alright, that lets them test the new update, and they don't have a million people blowing up and crashing their servers when everybody's trying to download it at the same time. So, alright, staggered updates. And it looks like my buddy got kicked out. Miguel, you're gone. Alright, I'm just going to randomly race a couple people then. Wait, you can get an antivirus built into LD Player? Is that what you're saying there? That would be sort of cool. There's been times where I didn't get an update till like certain events on the new update were already started. And that sucks when that happens because then you have less time to complete the event. Man, I think the game just froze. Come on. Alright, we're frozen. Crap sandwiches. Crap sandwiches. Alright, so I'm going to have to sit here for a minute, or I'm going to have to intentionally make this game disconnect. I guess there's something players can do that makes this happen, and when you disconnect, they get the win. I don't know how they're doing that. But I guess they call it the void glitch or something. I actually tried it once or twice just to see if it was true, and it worked, and I couldn't get it to work. Maybe I didn't do it right. It's not something I would intentionally do to other players because that's some bull crap in my opinion, but I had to test it out just to see if it worked, and it didn't work for me. I don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly other players can have figured out a way to make your game do this crap, so when you disconnect, they get awarded the win, which really makes me mad, but hopefully maybe I didn't do it right. I'm just hoping that's not true, but a lot of people think it is. Alright, I'm going to have to disconnect, guys. I'm going to lose this race. Alright, if you pull down your screen, it automatically makes you disconnect from the race. And look, it says the other player got the win. So, it may be very true that some players figured out how to do this crap to where they get a win when they force you to disconnect. It's terrible. Terrible. Alright. I should start taking screenshots of those players' names and reporting them. I don't know if that would do any good, but probably wouldn't do any good. You know, I actually got a Vast antivirus on my computer at one time. Oh my god, it was awful. This was years ago though. Everybody was going off about how great a Vast was. It screwed up my computer so bad. It slowed me down. It was awful. And everybody was like, oh, this is so much better than like AVG and it's so much easier on your computer. Avast was awful for me. I've never tried it again. But it really screwed me up. Blood trails. Alright, buddy. You have yourself a good day. It looks like you're leaving. I'm going to cut this video off after I finish out this last tank of gas here. I got to do a few things here in a few minutes, so I need to pop off of here pretty soon. What's my favorite car in CSR2? Well, I don't know. I really like my Copa Camaro, I really like my Harkness Sesto Elemento, and I really like my Cento Daihatchi. When it comes to Tier 4 cars, I love my RX-7 Rocket Bunny from the Easter event. I love my Ferrari F40. I love my Mustang HP E750. I don't know. There's so many cars on this game that I really, really like. It's kind of hard to pick an actual favorite. Basically, I judge cars by how well they do in live racing. I got so many good live racing cars. But I mainly drive the faster ones now like this because, like on the cars that aren't in the Supermax lobby, once you get too many wins, it always pushes you into a lobby where you can't win anymore. Then you got to sit there and you got to reset the car, and that gets really annoying. So for the most part, I just swap nowadays. That way I can avoid having to reset my cars all the time, and it's just a hassle. My HP E750 has a dyno time of a 12.0, and for some reason that seems to be the sweet spot. 12, it beats everything. It beats the F40s, it beats the LBNSX. The only thing I found that can beat it is the BR9 sometimes. Those BR9s, I guess that's the best Tier 4 live racing game in the car live racing car in the game from my understanding, and I always have a really hard time My favorite car in real life. You know what? If I could have any car in the world, you might be surprised here, but I think I would get that Sesto Elemento or a Subaru WRX STI. I don't know what it is about the WRX STIs, but I love those things. But I got an old school 2005 Toyota Corolla. Works for me. Now, when I was younger, I used to have a couple Civic hatchbacks that I souped up a little bit. That one was pretty cool. It was kind of weird how I had it set up, like on the highway, like the 0 to 60 time wasn't that great, but on the highway from like 60 to like 100, it was crazy fast. I didn't actually, I don't know, I put an ignition amplifier on it. I think I had some sort of like timing wheel, like the gears to where you could like adjust your timing forwards or backwards. I had the cold air intake. I had a full muffler set up on it. A couple other things I can't remember, but a lot of cars could outrun it if you were like doing at the drag strip. But when I got that thing on the highway, once I was doing like 50 or 60 and I stepped on the gas, man, that thing moved. It was a fun car to drive, but unfortunately, its fastest parts were you couldn't really enjoy it too well because, you know, you're already doing the speed limit, and then you step on it and it goes, and you're going to get a speeding ticket at that point. But I love old Civic hatchbacks, like the old 1990s ones. Like 89, 90, 91, 92, those Civic hatchbacks were amazing. The CRXs were super cool too. But if I could have a newer car, I would probably go out and buy a WRX STI because that's about the fastest, most affordable car you can get. But I kind of look at it this way. I'm not rich, and eventually your car is going to end up in the junkyard someday. Especially here, we live in Ohio. The salt in the winter eats the stuff out. So if you want your stuff to stay nice, you can't even crap, I hit the wrong button. You can't even drive it in the winter, or your car gets all rusted out after, you know, a few years. The frame gets all rusty. That sucks about Ohio. Sorry about the ad, guys. I didn't mean to play this. I hit the wrong button. Yeah, I don't think I have enough parts for my M5 competition to make it good yet. Mine sucks at stage 5. It kind of runs like crap at stage 5 with a couple parts. It might be once you get this transmission on that M5 competition that it does really well. I'm not really sure. Yeah, you want the needle drop on the Copa Camaro. It actually runs better with the needle drop. I don't know why. Most cars, that ruins your time, but the fastest time possible on the Copa Camaro is with the needle drop. The Copa is the only car I can actually hit the world record time on occasionally. I believe it's either like 7.216 or 7.217 if I remember correctly. I've actually hit that a few times. Not often, but I do get it sometimes. You know what? I've actually never seen an LB car in person. GTRs are pretty sweet cars though, but they're expensive. There's a lot of cars that I like, but I can't have any of them. Alright. Yeah, see, when you have the new update, and most people don't, this is what you deal with. Empty lobbies. Empty lobbies. Let's try and race. I don't know. Actually, it's after 10 o'clock, so I do need to get off of here. If you lose and you miss out on a boss car, unfortunately, you only have one chance. not all boss cars are worth owning anyways, so hopefully it wasn't one of the better boss cars, but nope. You cannot get a boss car. And, like, if you miss it the first time, that's it. Crap, I got a bad start. I didn't get the needle drop, so that's no good. My opponent's gonna win here. Hey, Joe. Alright, I can finish these last 2 things of gas really fast, I guess. It's already 6 after. I got a couple minutes, so let me finish off this gas and then I gotta end the video, because I gotta get off of here in a second. Alright, let's try and get the needle drop this time. I think this is the only car where the needle drop actually helps you. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to try again for a boss car. The only thing you might possibly be able to do is contact support and be like, hey, the game froze, or tell them there was some sort of error. Like if you had a problem like that kept you from getting it, maybe if you're really lucky, they'll reset it for you or something. Because I know there have been some people where the game actually froze or crashed while they were in the middle of the boss car and they missed it. And a couple of those people were lucky enough to where support helped them out. Oh, that guy disconnected. The Toyota 86 Rocket Bunny is a pretty cool car. Race abandoned. It's a very, very cool car. If I remember correctly, it's pretty decent at live racing. It's not one of the better live racing cars in the game, but I think if you can max it out, it earns a decent amount of RP for its tier, and I'm pretty sure it beats Dino, so it's a nice overall car. But yep, I gotta get off of here, guys, so if anybody is just tuning in, I'm sorry for cutting it short, but 10 a.m. Eastern Time, that's when my live stream cuts off. I got something to do. I got about 3 minutes here till I got to do something else. So, I got to pop off here. So, hopefully you guys have a great day. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate you guys checking out my videos. And hopefully my videos continue to help you guys, because I enjoy making videos to help people out. Help people learn about the game. Alright, you guys have a good day. See ya.